Brent, we're in Hollywood. You're homeless. Tell me about it.
It's somewhere I never thought I'd be. It's a little embarrassing. It's disconcerting. It's at times it's scary, and at other times it's there's nothing good about it, really.
How'd you end up here?
Lost my job, lost my lease, and then I blew the engine in my truck. I'm kind of stationary.
So your wife sleeps in the truck, or she sleeps in the tent?
Yeah, she's a significant other, and she sleeps in the truck, and I sleep in a tent.
Oh my gosh. Now you've told me you're 61.
Yes, sir.
Tried to look for work.
I am looking for work.
And it's tough. Ageism is real.
Yeah, just age discrimination is very real.
And so, tell me about it.
I go and interview. I look great on paper. I've got really good references. I interview well on the phone. I go down for interviews, and I can see when I walk in the room, they kind of go, oh, because of my age.
So what did you do? What's your profession?
I'm a law clerk.
So, and now you're helping people out here with...
Legal issues.
Yeah.
I'll help people through any administrative mandamus proceedings, such as Social Security, getting stimulus checks, taxes. I do a lot of things out here. Social Security is number one. Some other things I do for people is I got a couple claims going against the police and sheriff's department for people out here that were locked up without seeing a judge. I got one case where a boy was locked up for 111 days before he saw a judge.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So COVID has changed the police a little bit.
Made them more lenient in a way. Very lenient, because when you're homeless out here, the police, they don't like you setting up your shop. And there's an ordinance in Los Angeles that requires you to flatten your tent between 9 p.m. and 6 a.m. But just to give you a little history or a little legal lesson, the Supreme Court about 2 months ago denied certiorari on a case called Martin versus City of Boise. And what that case stood for is Martin was somebody that was in the city of Boise, Idaho. The police, they had an ordinance on the books there that said the police, if they found you camping on city streets or city property, they could either arrest you, take you to jail, confiscate your property, or they could take you to the city limits and tell you to hit the road. Martin was somebody that challenged that statute, and the Ninth Circuit, Ninth Circuit of the Appellate Court, the federal district court, actually found that the ordinance in Boise, which applies to all the 8 western states, was unconstitutional in that it violated the 8th Amendment's cruel and unusual punishment by punishing the poor, by taking their property. It also found that it was an impermissible use of police power. So the Martin case was then all the city attorneys and everybody else that wanted to see the Boise ordinance upheld filed certiorari with the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court denied certiorari about 8 weeks ago, which means that that's the law of the land. And what it comes down to is that the police or cities cannot use impermissible police power to tell you to take down your camp or get off city property if there's not adequate housing.
Right, and there's one little catch to that, is there's a loophole where if the police can offer one-night shelter, and one of the things that some of the politicians COVID changed a lot of things. So shelters now, what they wanted to do is build these giant tent shelters.
Yeah.
Not to really help people.
Which are containment camps.
Right. And it wasn't to help people, but as a loophole for getting around the Boise.
Yeah.
Martin versus Boise. So what the cops prior to COVID, they were harassing you more, and now after the coronavirus,
they backed off.
Okay, and how has that helped you?
Well, it's relaxed the pressure out here on us to constantly be on the move. I was told by police officers on Western, when I first hit the street, it was Western between Sunset and Hollywood Boulevard. I was there for about 6 months, and we had like a get together on a Saturday night, and that night the police came in force, and they actually went up to a couple of guys, I think, that were dealing drugs, called them by first name and said they can't deal their drugs there anymore, and they told us to leave. So we left that night. I didn't leave because I'm a drug dealer. I left because the police told me to leave or face arrest, which I don't think they could have done. So we went down to Fernwood, which is at Western and the Coventry House, and we were there for about another 6 weeks to 10 weeks. And then I had a couple of LAPD officers come and threaten to take my vehicle because the tag had expired, take my vehicle and take me to jail if I didn't move within 24 hours. So I moved from there to here to Berendo in Hollywood Boulevard, and I've been here ever since. Probably been now, I'd like to say 5 months.
5 months.
Yeah.
Is anybody helping you?
Yes, I have Path, Michael at Path trying to find me housing, and then we have Ava at the Los Angeles Sanitation District is also an outreach worker. Is trying to place us as well.
Wow, sanitation. You mean LASA or sanitation?
Yeah, LASA.
Okay,
LASA.
yeah. I didn't think sanitation had.
Well, she comes out with the sanitation department.
But they sweep, right? When they come out with sanitation, the police are trying to move encampments, right?
Yeah. They come out and they impermissibly force us to move and respond to them. We get run every time, like you know how they run you for warrants and all that stuff. And unfortunately, I have a Caltrans. I'm going to be quite honest. I have a Caltrans warrant out of Orange County that I have not signed up for Caltrans here. And the police have threatened to take me to jail, but they haven't yet. And then also, I have a ticket warrant out of Glendale. So I have 2 bench warrants for my arrest.
Wait, for being homeless?
No, just for being out here. No new violations. It's just they regularly come here and stop, and they run everybody.
But your tickets were for something related to homelessness.
No, they're not. No, they're not.
They're something else from prior.
Yeah.
Okay. But they're still holding it against you.
Yeah, they hold it over my head, and if they come here and say, look, either you go to jail or you move within 24 hours, I'll move. But it kind of feels like Nazi Germany or some of these other, what I would call the communist countries, whereby you hear the police come in the middle of the night and tell you to move, and you got to move. That's what it feels like. They come and they roust you. They say search us. They do all that stuff.
Now, what's a day like?
A day here? A typical day?
Yeah, a day like homeless.
Well, the first thing you worry about is cleanliness, is taking a shower. And I do shower once a week. The mission outreach group, they come down, Victory Outreach Group, to come down to a church at Franklin and Edgemont, and they have showers from 9 to 1 p.m., 9 a.m. to 1 p.m., and I get a shower there every Tuesday. So cleanliness is number 1. Charging your phones and electricity or keeping in contact with the world is probably number 2.
Yeah, how do you look for work if you can't connect to the world?
That's right. Absolutely. And with the libraries closed, I used to use the library before the COVID-19. I could go in there and send out resumes. It was really convenient. I checked the internet. Now I'm doing everything on a phone, and I'm very fortunate that I have a phone because a lot of people out here don't.
But I've helped homeless people try to fill out an application on the phone.
Yeah.
And it's extremely hard.
It is hard. It's hard because one is to give an address. I'm lucky I have an ex-client of mine that allows me to use his address for government and job purposes.
Yeah. So you're looking for work. If you were able to get into housing, you don't want to be here.
I would be off the street the minute even if it's single resident occupancy, if we had to go separate ways, I'd be out of here. I'd really like a place to lock up my stuff, take a shower, and just a little piece of the world to close the door on so that people can't go through your stuff.
Yeah. And COVID, you were telling me earlier, the COVID coronavirus, it closed all the bathrooms. You guys had no place to clean up or to go.
It's hard to go to the bathroom out here as it is. But everybody has now shut the bathrooms down at all the fast food restaurants is really where you go to the supermarkets or service stations, and they're always closed. Even before COVID, they were always either under repair, not working, or whatever. It's very difficult to go to the restroom. You almost have to go onto a construction site and use one of those porta potties.
So what's your future like?
My future looks good. I've got a couple outside clients, and I do believe that I will land a position with someone somewhere for the next 9 years. I'm going to work till I'm 70.
Yeah. So your goal is to get out of here as quickly as possible.
Get into a place, and if it's government assisted, I'd really appreciate it. But if it isn't, I would. It's going to be a little bit of a harder road. Yeah. I've actually worked homeless. The last job I was at the last couple of months, I had lost my lease, and I was trying to get another job, so I knew the job was coming to an end, and I wasn't successful. So I actually did live in my truck for the last couple of months of my last job.
Yeah. But this time's a little different.
Yeah, this is different. It's way different. It's I don't know about the job outlook. It doesn't look rosy, but I am looking forward to the stimulus check, and I also applied for the special federal government subsidized unemployment, which allows you to get like 10 weeks at $600 a week or something,
right.
$6,000. So I got that application in as well. Those things happen. Obviously, I'd get a vehicle with the $6,000 of unemployment.
That way you can go look for a job.
And be presentable.
Well,
Normally,
it's a case for the universal basic income, actually.
Yeah, and yes, it is. And it's also it's very difficult when you get a job interview and you don't have shower facilities.
Oh, yeah.
So it's almost like I need to go rent a room, which I have done in the past. I'll go get a motel room and get cleaned up, so I walk in there looking like everybody else that walks in there, clean and ready to go to work.
Well, that's one of the things, people just automatically go, get a job, get a job. There's 30 million people unemployed right now, so get a job. It's stupid.
Every job that I apply for through Indeed, I look on there to see how many applicants. There's anywhere from 90 to 240 applicants.
Right.
And a lot of those have homes.
Yeah, right. They have showers and transportation.
Yeah.
And
everything else you need to get there.
They're 30 or 40 years old.
Yeah.
I'm 59, and it is the last time I looked for work, which was a couple years ago when I was laid off. It was really hard.
It's depressing.
At over 55 to get a job.
Yes.
And any minimum wage. So the the McDonald's places aren't going to hire you.
No.
And even if they did, you can't afford rent.
Yeah.
You
can't at $15 an hour, not in Los Angeles. There's not affordable housing for the people that are not well off.
Yeah.
And I got to be honest with you, it would be very hard for me to go sign a lease for a one-bedroom apartment for $2,500 or $3,000 a month. That's $36,000. That's a little bit more than my dad's mortgage was in Anaheim Hills.
Yeah.
So it's hard to, now that I'm out here and I've been out here, I would love it if I had a shower, because I would probably stay out here while I worked. Anyway.
Yeah. Well,
a little bit of brevity there.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I tell people, is that they'll say people want to be homeless, and no, nobody wants to be homeless. People get used to it.
Yeah, we get accustomed to it, but we don't like it. It's very disconcerting. It's you don't really sleep. It's like deer in the headlights. You got one eye open all times, and it's not just the police, but it's the people around us. Some of the people in the homeless community are really scoundrels. And everybody's ripping everybody else off. It's terrible.
Yeah. And there's good people here too.
Yes, there is.
That's what you were talking about earlier. There's good, there's bad.
Yeah, bad things happen to good people, and they didn't plan for it, and they end up out here. For some of the people, it's really scary. I've been able to adapt, and I'm fortunate for that. And I've adapted, but I don't want this to be a way of life.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
there's no certainty.
Even in the suburbs or Beverly Hills, there's good and bad people.
Yes.
There's,
everywhere.
Yeah. If you had 3 wishes, what would they be?
I would like, 3 wishes. The first wish would be for probably our country to lay down their weapons and stop building bullets and start building infrastructures and things for people here. This country's wealthy enough to feed everyone, to really give everyone a college education, and to house everyone. I think we just need to redistribute some of our wealth or our resources. My first wish is that we stop warring and spending so much money in foreign affairs. Yeah. Second wish would be, obviously I'm going to get selfish here, but I'd like to get a job.
And third wish?
I wish good health for everyone that I come in contact with.
Well, thank you very much for talking to me.
Awesome, Mark. I appreciate you today very much.
Thank you.